What a day. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Jesse Holley's film school rolls along. When we get into this show a little bit, we're going to see something done with Micah in the next 20 days. That's how far we are from camp. Plus, what a sweet documentary coming out. Man, we loved this team 30 years ago. Show starts. Meow. All right, we're in this bad boy. Welcome in. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast on July the 1. July is when the Dallas Cowboys will actually report to training camp this month. We're almost through it. We've almost survived the tough times. This is tough times.
We are professionals, bro.
We are good at this. I tell you, we've managed to do it 5 days. Shout out to any content creator going 5 days a week right now. You got to work.
Yeah, you have to work.
You got to work.
Did June fly by?
No, it did not fly by. Not even a little bit.
I know, but we'll fly by. July's going to fly by. 20 days is going to go so fast.
I'd like to dedicate today's show, at least my performance on it, to Dan Aykroyd and Pamela Anderson, just so you guys know. Hello, my name is Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
1.2 million hit the bank.
It's soon to be. It's going to be Happy Shohei Ohtani Day.
Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, Bobby Bonilla gets $1.2 million every July 1st through the year 2035. And starting in 2034, Shohei Ohtani is going to be getting $68 million every July 1st for a decade.
Bobby Bonilla turned a $5.9 million deferred payment
into a lot.
Into over $40 million.
Is it the 90s still?
I'm sure it's the 90s.
35 years at 1.2 plus however many years of the 90s. Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Doing okay.
And like,
I signed a deferred contract with DLLS.
Did you?
Yeah, it's going to pay me through the year 2092.
$20 every July 1st.
$74.
$74.
Yeah.
At 90-something years old, $74 might go a long way for you.
That'd be big time. Give me the Chili's.
Yeah, get you some
triple
soup.
dipper.
Get you some soup.
Yeah.
Get a little soup.
All I need is $40.
$40?
It's still hot 40.
Hot 40.
Still hot. It's still a hot 40, baby.
Yeah, that hot 40. That hot 40 that took me a lot of places.
It's still a hot 40. You don't know about that.
I don't know what you're saying. Next to Jesse is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
I really don't do older women.
He does not.
Speaking of age, I am old enough to remember when Pamela Anderson was a heartthrob. That's why she's a celebrity.
Baywatch.
She was a heartthrob.
And a tape.
I never saw the tape.
She had a tape with that drummer who was allegedly very blessed.
Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
Tommy Lee?
Yeah. Allegedly very, very blessed.
So listen to me. When we talk about Pamela Anderson,
yes,
we're not going to talk about a man being blessed. Okay, we're going to focus on what we're
she
supposed to be focusing
too.
on. Okay, thank you.
Just a couple of blessed
we're
people.
We're going to focus on what we're supposed to be focusing on.
I don't know
why is the first thing he go to a man being blessed?
Hey, listen.
Dude, that's not black man behavior. Okay, you trying to bond here.
Well, in this particular scenario, I'm not a black man. Okay, I'm a black man when it's convenient.
When we're talking about a beautiful female blonde heartthrob, Baywatch, and you immediately go to a man being blessed? Come on.
Super blessed.
Pause.
I'd also like to shout out Pam because Pam is one of those who is trying to redefine beauty norms.
It's not working.
She's
it's not working.
No Botox. She don't wear makeup.
It's not working.
Pam's out here just being Pam.
But to each his own.
We need Baywatch Pam.
Let me not be the one that hit on anybody's growth.
Colin Cowherd was talking crap about Micah Parsons yesterday because it was the end of June, probably. Just not a lot else to do. But he had a list of like 5 guys that he would pay whatever it takes to get a contract done. Micah wasn't one of them. Said he's not good in the playoffs. He beats up on little kids. Blah blah blah. He sucks. But Jared Verse was one of the 5 guys that he would pay whatever it takes. A guy who's played 1 year in the league for the Rams. Good player. But just, that's where we are. This end of June stuff is that, he said what did he say? He said if Jerry doesn't pay Micah Parsons, it's because he doesn't deserve it and he's not good enough.
I have a problem sometimes with people just be saying outlandish stuff, declarative statements. I don't know why they do that sort of stuff. This is the same. Hey, let's focus on the topic at hand.
What did he say?
Focus on the person.
This dude, Pop said he has a problem with people saying outlandish things and declarative. What did you say?
Declarative statements.
Yeah.
Declarative statements.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that.
He said that.
I don't know why they would do that.
He said that.
Listen, I know I said it. I said it.
I'm gonna have to find the show and the timestamp for you, John. The Cowboys are not taking a guard. At 12.
The Cowboys are not taking an offensive lineman at 12.
Listen.
And furthermore, they are definitely not taking a guard.
Not a guard only.
Not a guard only. Sorry. Go ahead.
Clarence bats 97.8%, and he's the best beat writer in the history of Cowboys. But we gonna own that one.
I put that on Twitter today. We get sidetracked, but
we gonna own that one.
Colin Cowherd, also the guy who said that the Johnny Manziel will be bigger than Cleveland than LeBron.
He's pretty big.
Than LeBron. He had more success than Cleveland than LeBron.
Cocaine then brought down many of men.
It wasn't just cocaine. But somebody, they keep hitting me on Twitter. They keep hitting me on Twitter with that guard thing. I don't know why. But as I told somebody today, because
you don't know why?
Because people keep talking about the Micah Parsons contract and the situation going on with Micah Parsons. Everybody has tidbits now. Everybody has information now. So some Cowboy site, Tom Pelissero said that the problem with the only issue right now is contract years because Cowboys and Jerry Jones have a understanding of they're all on the same page regarding the money.
That's right. Per Clarence Hill.
He didn't say that part.
Oh, my bad.
They didn't say that part.
Per Clarence
Hill. So if you're going to tell it all. Don't just give Tom Pelissero said this weekend they're on the same. The money's not an issue. They already know what they're going to pay him. Really?
Did they use the term meeting of the minds?
They said that meeting of the minds?
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you're going to tell it all. Don't just tell one part, okay? So, yeah, we're talking about Micah and whether they should pay him, and Colin Cowherd has takes.
Bad takes.
Well, he's always had bad takes. Drono says, hot take, Yasmin Bleeth is way hotter than Pamela Anderson. Both beautiful women, of course. And I would say Yasmin Bleeth was also a Baywatch girl, as was Carmen Electra. It's the beginning of Carmen Electra as well.
Ooh, and Dennis Rodman.
Well, he was not on Baywatch, as far as I know.
I think he made an appearance.
So why, when I said the name of a beautiful woman, did you go straight to a man?
That's a good point. That's, you know what?
See, Jess, no.
Call a spade a spade. You went right to a tall black man.
No, I didn't. So you're missing the point. Dennis Rodman is a local. Okay.
Oh my God.
No. He did.
He wasn't talking about the blessings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the difference. The devil is in the details. Don't do me like this, Jesse.
But you still went to a man.
No. But he went about.
He talked
about the man being blessed.
He said Yasmin Bleeth, and then he said Carmen Electra, and you said
every person I've talkked about is a beautiful person that has been successful. They're all blessed.
That's a horse of a different color.
That's the issue. That's where you cross the line. I brought up Dennis because that's in the big documentary they talked about Dennis and Carmen. I mean,
why you didn't bring up David Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
Because Dennis is from Dallas. I'm a local guy.
David Hasselhoff was mean to me one time when I was a kid.
Dennis is from Dallas.
He's mean to me. We saw him when they were filming.
D-Rod is from Dallas.
They were doing Baywatch Hawaii, I think.
This man talked.
And I was walking and I saw David Hasselhoff. And so I tried to tell him, hey, David Hasselhoff. And he told his security, get him the F away from me.
You were in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was in Hawaii.
You're not going to pull this poor thing from me every time you tell me.
No, this is after we moved to Texas now. Moved to Texas when I was 10. Then we got money. I was 12 or 13 in Hawaii.
Listen,
we were poor before that.
Listen, ain't nobody, you don't live in Hawaii poor.
No, we weren't poor anymore.
You don't live in Hawaii poor.
20 days till camp. Is Micah Parsons getting a contract done in the next 20 days?
I'm not going to be definitive.
No.
I'm not going to be definitive.
Don't be afraid, Clarence.
I'm not going to make a declarative statement, but I believe he will.
You think he will?
Yeah.
I don't believe he will.
I don't either. I'm on Team Jesse.
I believe we're going to be 2 weeks into camp. In the second week of camp, someone's going to fold. And there is – David Malugeta is going to have to hold Micah down.
Yeah, because Micah could go Tyron this thing.
Like, he's going to have to hold Micah. Like,
the man wants to practice and play.
David, I know he has other clients that he'll be kind of, going around different training camps. But if Micah, per Clarence Hill, that Micah will have a house in Oxnard. If that's the case, David will have to be in the house with Micah. Because after a week or so, Micah's going to get that itch. He's going to get that situation where he's watching TV, he's texting, he's doing all of that stuff. He may even go by training camp. But he's going to get that itch. And the more and more he see guys out there playing, the more and more he's going to want to be out there.
You got a question. John, do you have a video pulled up of Micah working out?
Yep, John can't hear you.
John, you got a video of Micah working out, running on the beach?
That video was posted online. I was never told to have it for the show, Clarence.
No,
I support this 100%. Yeah, you want to call for stuff that we didn't discuss. There's zero chance we're going to have it, Clarence.
I just asked a question. I'm not coming for you.
I'm checking the audio still.
Where is Katya?
Yeah, I'm not coming
He's on
for
vacation.
you. I'm not coming for you. But my point is that when we talk about Micah, and there's so much being said about Micah, about podcasts, about this and that. If you ever see the video, and we have it on DLLS, it's on Twitter, it's on our social media pages of him working out. He took met with the guys and took them to a private workout, which Jesse suggested.
Yeah, he sure
and
did.
I think they followed.
Come on. Don't
per Jesse Holley. No,
I said was Jesse suggested.
I'm just saying, say per though. Say per Jesse.
I said was Jesse
yeah.
suggested. It's the same thing.
Hit him with per.
I want the MLA format.
That's how we cite that. Per.
Which Jesse suggested is citing Jesse.
That's AP approved.
Yeah, give me that.
Okay. Per Jesse Holley.
Thank you.
But you watch him working out on the beach, and he's still trying to outrun everybody, win every drill. And that's when you can say what you want, but that's the kind of player you want.
Yeah.
He wants to win every drill. He's not, as old school term, he's not Cadillacing. Because a lot of times you watch guys like Jordan, and you watch when the Jordan documentary, he won every wind sprint. I think Jeff Cadillac.
I did Cadillac, and I was not good enough to Cadillac, and I Cadillac for sure.
You cool. You at the back of the line. There's some guys, even some of your best athletes, they too cool. They gonna be at the back of the line like you run. They gonna be Cadillacing.
Yep, that was me.
He don't Cadillac,
but I was drunk.
He gives it his all. That's what you want from a guy in practice.
I've always said that about Micah. When it comes to playing football, he is one of the best. He works hard. He wants to be good. And I do believe that. Micah wants to be great.
Yeah, he wants to be great.
He wants to be great. And
you can't fake that.
No, you can't. And you see it. You see it by the way that he goes about it. I think sometimes, let me not even say that. Micah wants to be great.
Yes, and I think that's sometimes it's challenging because people see your social media and they said, like, it's a conversation about Angel Reese right now, and then we're not talking about WNBA. It was a big conversation on Twitter this weekend. This guy
we have a WNBA shirt as well. Check that out.
Sure do.
This guy was ripping her and said she's always on IG and she's always on this. She needs to be working hard, but she is working.
She needs to get off Instagram.
Why?
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I didn't have anything beyond that. I just want to say
this guy was like, I see her more at Knicks games and other games. I see her working out. Her job is not to work out for you.
Is Caitlin on Instagram?
I don't know what Caitlin's on.
Oh, okay.
But we're not talking about Caitlin. But my point is she does work out. She's done stuff with other stars. Lisa Leslie, she's put the work in. And so sometimes we get caught up with social media.
Tim Martin, too. Shout out to Tim Martin.
Yeah, we get caught up with social media and things like that and see the trips, and we don't see the work that's put in. Okay, and Micah is still putting in the work. You've never seen and you can see.
Now, Micah make sure we see the work. Micah gonna always make sure.
Micah see the work.
Micah gonna always make
sure.
Micah
needs to get off Instagram.
But
he gonna always make sure we see the work
on there.
Let's be honest. It's fake work sometimes. I mean, 'cause we saw Zeke's work. Okay, there were videos of him working out, and now reports that he wasn't in shape coming to camp. You can show work. Okay, we see Debo's work.
Football shape, and y'all doing drills and these cones. That ain't the same. That's why guys need to be in training camp and playing preseason games. We'll get to that later on in the season, in the preseason. But Guys need to play
But
preseason
that's
games.
my point, though. So we see clips on video. Just you see clips on social media. A lot of people put out clips on social media, but that don't mean they're really working, okay? And so I'm saying, yes, Micah going to show us his clips, but we've seen the proof in the pudding. We've seen him because you've never said Mike was out of shape. Micah, was tapping his helmet. But we've seen other guys who put their clips out who are not in great shape.
Yeah.
There's Debo's back out there on social media. People showing him calling him fat boy.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody called him that, right? Or was that
Maybe.
just me?
Maybe.
Look like Big Extra Plug. The biggest, the largest, the biggest, the largest.
That's Clarence Hill.
We did talk to Clarence about the short shorts from yesterday. Got him wearing pants today, and he did ruin White Tea Tuesday again. He forgot. He didn't know. We don't plan this.
No, we don't.
I do have just one more thing when it comes to Micah, and then we'll talk about what's coming out for the Cowboys here in the next month or so, which it's amazing, or it's going to drive you bonkers. That's all next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
And if you're deciding what you're going to do this season as far as Cowboy games, how many are you going to? Home, away? If you're picking a stadium, whatever you're deciding, make sure that a part of that decision is downloading the Game Time app. If you're going to get tickets to any event, plays, games, basketball, football, soccer, it doesn't matter. Anything that requires a ticket, you need to head on over to Game Time. And what's great about Game Time, they're willing to give you some money back. All you have to do is download the app and then head over to Game Time and use the promo code DLLS and get $20 off your first purchase. Give it to a friend, give it to a family member, whoever it is, make sure that you're using the app. And what I love about it is when you hit the seat that you want to sit in, it gives you a picture of what it looks like from that seat. No obstructed views. And when you get to the checkout, none of those crazy prices. What you see is what you get. So head on over, download the Game Time app, use the promo code DLLS, and get $20 off your first purchase. What time is it? Game time.
And using the Game Time app is a responsible use of your money, which would be approved by our friends at Monarch Money, who's the people that you need to hit up to try to get your financial situation in order. The finances, they can be messy, they can be confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. I've taken a peek at things because of Monarch Money. It turns out I do overspend on a couple of things, including the $253 that I spent last night because I saw the face stuff that Mario Lopez and Tony Gonzalez used.
It's so crazy.
I got to chill out, okay? And I know that because I now have a financial hub from my friends at Monarch Money. They get you all squared away. You have all your accounts, credit cards, investments all in one place. You'll always know where your money stands without the hassle. You don't want financial stress. That's bad for relationships. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code DLLS at monarchmoney.com. You'll get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year. monarchmoney.com, code DLLS. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and I do, before we get into the documentary that we're all very excited about with the Cowboys. Shout out to our friends at Branded Bills, by the way. Check out that hat. You like that? That's a good one. Got another one on the way. What are you raising your hand for?
I don't want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
So don't interrupt him.
But I raised my hand politely.
That doesn't
I
mean
didn't just jump in.
Raising your hand
got him in
is
pants.
an interruption.
I'm going 1 to 3, back to 1.
So regarding Monarch Money, and I don't know if you guys saw that because it was during the break or whatever else.
They didn't.
But we it's one of our sponsors, we can talk about them.
It is indeed.
My daughter asked me last night, she's getting a scholarship. Dad, I need help managing my money.
She don't have no money. You're always telling me you had to buy her this and that and this, and then you lost the cat.
You're bringing up old stuff.
Did lose that
Why are you bringing up old stuff?
Have you found that cat?
You find the
cat
cat?
left. Somebody stole our cat, my baby's cat.
That cat's living free.
So
high on the hog.
What I was trying to say is that she's getting ready to get some scholarship money because she's getting ready to go to law school. And she said she needs help managing her money. And Daddy, I need some help. I said, Monarch Money.
Look at you. Dad
I said
of the
Monarch
year.
Money. I downloaded that. I said Monarch Money.
Dad of the year.
Promo code DLLS. I'm just literally, it's organic. Conversation last night.
Look at that.
Monarch Money.
Speaking of, they're still our sponsor. They was our sponsor. I got to pay Ownwell.
Okay. Oh, because Ownwell saved you some money on your property taxes?
They did. Oh, we did. I won. They won it for me. I gotta pay them by the 4th.
Yeah.
Are they still one of our sponsors?
It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
They might come back. They may come back.
Because I'm just saying.
Shout out to Ownwell.
I mean, Jeff still has an account with Bluetooth. I was just making sure,
Well,
Okay, all right.
I still have the product.
Shout out to Blue Chew. Shout out to Blue Chew.
5-star. 5-star
Shout out to
review.
Blue Chew.
They're not a sponsor yet, but I'm going there for lunch. And if you guys are interested, I will do your brand right. Shout out to Chili's.
All right.
I just want y'all to know.
No.
Okay. So there's just one more thing when it comes to the Micah Parsons contract, which is, to quote Marlo Stanfield, the price of the brick is going up. Okay.
The brick.
Like, and I get if you talk about, oh well, yeah, but that was a year ago or that was 2 years ago. Like I'm talking about in a single off season right now. While you're still fiddle farting with Micah Parsons. If you beat Myles Garrett to the market, Micah said, I don't need 40. That was before 40 was the going rate. Now he does need 40, and he'll get more than 40. He told you he didn't need 40, but then you took your sweet time, so now he needs more than 40. And now there's TJ Watt stuff where Adam Schefter is saying, hey, a couple of teams for the last couple of weeks have been thinking about if they could trade for TJ Watt, which is a lot of words to say literally nothing. There are some teams that have been thinking if they could, like nothing from the Steelers about we're going to trade him or want to trade him or interested in trading him or would answer the phone call, but whatever. Because then Tom Pelissero was like, right, they're not trading him. They're fully intending to get a deal done with TJ Watt. And apparently they're still far apart and whatever, but TJ Watt's skipping stuff. And when he gets done, guess what? That's 41. That's 42. You are less than 6 months removed in the same offseason. Not, oh, yeah, but they didn't get anything done that year because he was going to wait no matter what until the next year. No, this is the offseason. You were going to get a deal done and still are going to. And you could have done it for $34, $35 million. Today you could do it for 40 and a half. Tomorrow you might have to do it at 43. Like you might cost yourself $8 or $9 million per year on a player's contract because you're doing Jones stuff.
It was never going to be 34, 35.
34 was the going rate.
No. The reason why we asked about 40 in December, because we knew it was going to be 40. The reason why 60 was always on the table for Dak, it was never going to be.
Right.
You know, 60 came up well before Dak signed 60, even though the next highest guy was 55. It was never going to be 34, 35.
Okay, you could have done it at 37, 38. Like, what was the highest guy at that point? It was like 34 and a half, right?
Yeah.
So, and maybe it still would have been 40. I don't know.
Whatever Justin Jefferson get was the highest at that point.
Yeah.
And then
and I think that was 35.
And then, you know, the Browns
40 for
signed,
Garrett.
And so he's gonna. But yes, he's gonna. You need to get him done before Watt.
It sure would be nice.
But what we also know is whenever it gets done, the number is gonna be the highest paid. Okay, it's gonna be the highest paid. So whatever it is, it's gonna be $1 more, $1 million more.
I'm gonna do DLLS like Myles Garrett did to Cleveland Browns.
Demand a trade?
Yeah, trade.
Say that you.
Well, first
you're
he said,
tired
I'm not
of
gonna
losing.
sign if you don't get a quarterback.
I'm tired of being here.
Yeah.
I'm demanding a trade to a competitor.
Okay.
There's no competitor.
See if I can get me a check. They're like, why you come back? Oh, well, I love it here. No.
I think they're going to tag Micah. They don't have to tag Micah yet because here's the thing. If they really wanted to play hardball, the Cowboys would do nothing. They'd be like, we see you when you get here.
Contract.
Like, he's under contract for another year.
He's not playing for $24 million. He's not playing.
No,
let me say, he's not playing for a measly $24 million.
But
measly.
Right. But
I mean, if a team really wanted to be tough, I'd tell you prove it. Talk to me 8 weeks into the season when you realize also this year doesn't count and you're going to be paying for $24 million next year.
I'm not chancing an NBA Achilles injury for $24 million.
Well, then
when 40's on the table.
Then you'll never be a free agent. Because as long as you don't play, that year doesn't count. You're playing for 24 at some point. I'm never paying you.
And then when the Cowboys go whatever, Jerry like, Zeke, remember Zeke who?
I'm just saying.
Who gonna blink first? We know who gonna blink first.
Let me have a team now.
We know who gonna blink first. Who always blinks? Who always blinks?
Cowboys.
Who always caves?
Cowboys.
Exactly.
The cavemen. Shout out to Gavin Dawson. That's what we call them. The cavemen. That's what they do. They cave, and they will.
Speaking of caves and old stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of old stuff. What is the name of this? What is the name of this thing coming out?
You like that.
I'm trying. Where the transition going?
What is the name of this thing that's coming out?
Old stuff.
Old stuff.
This is the Jerry Jones Cowboys documentary that's coming out.
America's Team. The making of America's Team.
It is old stuff.
Old stuff.
You like that transition?
That was good transition.
You were a little slow in uptake, baby.
Nah, because I didn't know where you were going with the whole situation.
Jeff knew.
I did because I put together the run sheet. That's how I knew.
I was working on something else while y'all was doing the run sheet.
Yeah. You were working.
I was actually.
We were fiddle farting. Jesse was actually working. So yeah, now that's what we have to look forward to. If you're a Cowboy fan, that's what you have to look forward to. Is what is it coming out like August 1st? It's going to be coming out, and you're going to have
I don't think I think it's somewhere in the middle of
August
August.
19th.
It's after the preseason. Yeah.
August 19th.
Oh, outstanding. Yeah, because
After
preseason will get people through, and then you really got to promote the brand with
So you should have put, to me, if I was the marketing manager of this, I'm putting it out during the dead period. Like, remember? Like,
it should be coming out right now.
Like Last Dance. Remember, Last Dance got moved up. They're like, wait a second.
It was right after the NBA Finals.
It wasn't supposed to come out until like later in the fall.
Right.
And then they moved it up. Because it was like, wait a second. Everyone's locked in the house with nothing to do. No sports are on.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get an Emmy.
Was that during
go
the
get an Emmy.
Was that during the
COVID?
COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, we had nothing to do.
Because I was making, it came on every Wednesday, and I had discovered making wings in the air fryer.
Oh, it's nice.
I was making
don't
wings
get
in
me
the
wrong,
air fryer.
it's not great.
Yep.
But it's good enough.
Who was you making them for?
Me.
No guess?
Me.
No guess.
Me.
If you
I
act
don't know.
right,
I don't know what
I
you
might
want me
bring
to
some wings to the house.
You're talking about a friend of mine? We're not going to do that.
It's called America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. Do we have things we want to play from this, John? We got some sweet cuts.
Clarence, I think we've got a few clips from this that you requested, right? Got a couple things for this?
You got something?
Yeah. No, I
Right.
got nothing.
Huh?
Are you guys fighting now? Is that what?
We're not. It's my guy. We don't have the trailer, right?
Even if we had the trailer, I don't think we can air a trailer.
Oh.
for
The
2
beautiful
minutes.
thing about the trailer is Jerry's selling this trailer. They're selling this trailer. They're selling The Gambler in the making of the Cowboys. Michael, Dion, Troy, Nate, Jerry, Charlotte. They're talking about the 90s. They're talking about the
Good old
90s
days.
and firing Tom Landry, and they got all this stuff.
Oh yeah, Jerry
He's-
said I was Darth Vader.
Yeah. And I'm sure Dak and Mike is going to be in it at some point.
Maybe.
I'm sure you might see a cameo from me following Jerry around at some point. But when we selling this,
Might see me hammering Miller Lights on the
I'm
bus.
just
I
saying
don't know.
because we with the cameras were there.
I was on Hard Knocks 3
listen,
times.
I
27
remember,
years, brother.
I remember kicking them off the elevator. Sometimes Netflix guys, it was after the Jimmy Johnson thing in Carolina. We're all getting there because they did it right before the game. And they were trying to get on the elevator to follow Jerry. And we also were trying to get back upstairs because Jerry shoehorned his press conference in on another team's field in another team's stadium right before kickoff. And so we do this thing, press conference, Jimmy, before kickoff, and have to get back up to start the game. And Netflix thought they was going to get on the elevator before us. I'm like, wait your turn.
You punk Netflix.
Yes, wait your turn. You're not finna jump on this elevator. So anyway, they follow us. So they saw the media throng. So we may have a cameo, is all I'm saying.
Boy, they got a cameo. Somebody whooping up on you in the elevator?
No, anybody whooping on me. But the bottom line is this, is that they're selling this thing to the public. They're selling history. They're not selling what's happening now. They're selling about the 90s. That's all that's prominent they're selling. They're not selling Dak. They're not selling Dad. They're not selling CD. They're not selling Romo. They're selling the 90s. And that's what I keep trying to say. The 90s don't matter. Had no impact on this team and what they do. These players are different. Yes, that's the specter that hangs over this organization. Everything they do, everything they've gotten is about what happened in the 90s. That thing in Frisco, that thing in Arlington is about the 90s. And to think that you can walk in that building and think it's just about us, no, it's about the 90s. That's the standard. That's what's held over their head. And to me, this documentary and the way they're selling the documentary proves that even more. They have this thing hanging over their head, this 30-year drought, because of the championships of the past.
Is there a time stamp or expiration date on a standard?
That's my thing, because I agree with you. And by the way, just for the documentary itself, I don't think it's rare to go back to dynasties, like Showtime, and
but you're selling
that's a thing. So it's it's not rare to go back to dynasties and do stuff.
Are we going to find out anything that we don't already know?
No.
But it's not for you. It's for the masses on Netflix. It's for people that don't know the history. It's for all the people that think about the Cowboys now and don't really know how this thing all came together, why they're America's team, why they're the most valuable franchise. That's who it's for. It's not for you. There are a lot of people don't know none of this history.
That are Cowboy fans?
That are TV watchers. So
Or football fans?
Sports fans. It's not just for the sports fans, because Jerry says it's a drama 365. It's for the social media fans. It's for the reality show fans.
If you're 30 or younger, you've never seen him win anything. So
and you don't know.
You've heard the stories.
Right.
No, everybody is not. You've heard the stories. That housewife or that mom or that young lady or that guy or whoever. Well, I'm not even trying to make it a gender thing. They have not heard the stories, and they're going to get it all.
Yeah, I think most people, if you're a Cowboy, like if you identify as a Cowboy fan, you'll get the general theme of it. But I think anytime you do like behind the scenes stuff and interviews with people, you'll learn stuff. We might not, but like, what if they talk? You think everybody knows about Michael Irvin?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
You think everybody
somebody
knows?
showed me a clip. Yeah, somebody sent me a clip. A reporter.
They gonna put that in there?
I don't know. He sent me a clip of Jeff Pearlman talking about the haircut, and he said, "Is this true? Is this true?" And he's 50, and he's a media person who's been in Dallas who should have known.
I talked to Nate Newton about it last year.
But people still cannot believe it really happened.
Right.
Okay, about the haircut, about them fighting over the haircut, and not just the haircut, the behind the scenes stuff, why it happened. I don't know if that's in the documentary, because Michael was on probation. Okay, they had to keep it hush hush, so they had to quote unquote pay off the guy to not press charges, because Michael would have went to jail. Okay, there are a lot of stories that people
hush money.
There are a lot of stories.
I was told that somebody asked Jimmy about Mike, like, what are we going to do about it? And he was like, did the guy live? And they're like, yeah. And he was like, we're fine.
Yeah. So that
he'll start.
But there's a lot of stuff that you think we know, but we don't know, and people forget. And just like the Jordan documentary, there are a lot of stuff that we knew about Jordan and how he treated his teammates and whatever else, but to actually see it,
that's true.
It's different.
True. That's true.
I will absolutely watch it. And I will absolutely enjoy it. But
we have to watch it.
But what's that?
We have to watch it.
Yeah, and I think it'll be fun. Like, I do like those sorts of things. I think it'll be fun. But also as a this is my job thing and sports fan thing. But as Cowboy fan, I want them to win. It's also kind of infuriating, because the reputation and the fame that team built is the reason they don't have to try their hardest today to win. And I'm not talking about the players.
It's the reason why they don't have to try their hardest today to make money.
Yeah, either one.
Well,
both. They're not trying to win.
As my grandma said a long time ago, you can't serve two masters. You can't be focused on about making money and trying to win.
Right.
Okay, and making money is always wins out here.
Especially when the guy in control of both is the exact same person. That's absurd. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we continue going to school with Jesse Holley on the film. And so, that is next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
This is the season for new flooring. I was just sweeping and mopping my floor yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I should get new flooring next year.
Yes.
And I literally went on EmpireToday.com. I started browsing around a little bit and started trying to look at some things, stuff like that. I was like, okay, wood's expensive. Okay.
Oh, the wood?
Wood's expensive.
That real wood, you might want to go laminate.
Wood's expensive, but I said to myself, I get $350.
You do get $350?
I get $350 off new flooring. Might not be a lot for the wood.
I mean, it's a dent.
It's a dent. It's a start.
How big's the room? Get a smaller room.
Yeah, but I can't do that.
Do the bathroom.
But $350 off new flooring when you use the promo code DLLS. I love EmpireToday.com because they give you experts that know nothing, that know everything about flooring and none about the other stuff. Not plumbing, not all that. Flooring is what they know. So if you're looking for some new flooring, head over to EmpireToday.com, use the promo code DLLS, and get $350 off some new flooring today.
Shout out to our friends at Branded Bills, and your boy is wearing one right now. Premium headwear and apparel, and they got all sorts of different hats. You like the snapback? That's what this is. You like the trucker hat? They got them. The fitted hats got them. Beanies, tees, they got all sorts of stuff. And just go to Branded Bill's website, because just cruising around, I almost got myself in trouble.
You call it a beanie, or do you call it a scully?
I call it a beanie.
What do you, beanie or scully?
I call it a beanie.
Or toboggan?
I call it toboggan if I feel like I'm going to be on a cold mountain.
I've never called it a toboggan.
Me neither. I call it a scully.
Okay.
That's an East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Well, check out Branded Bills, because their website's great. It is dangerous if you're also a Monarch Money person, because I hit yes on too many things when I was over there. But they're awesome. They have a partnership with 30-plus colleges as a part of their campus collection, including TCU. The Texas Longhorns are coming soon. So if you are looking for gear, it's our friends at brandedbills.com. Use the code BBDLLS. You get 15% off your first order. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. And we're going to knock out a couple of super chats, and then we're going to take you to the classroom. With
the best segment of the summer.
Great and powerful Jesse Holley.
We got the stuff for this segment, Jesse, right?
Huh?
We got the stuff for this segment. You requested it.
Yeah, do you got the stuff for the segment? You got the stuff for the segment?
I don't know how stuff got. I just asked a simple question. I said maybe he did, maybe didn't. I'm not demanding.
You remember that hour?
I was not
and they were
demanding.
sitting there together talking about what they were going to put on the show.
I was not demanding.
And then Clarence just comes in. He's like, "Hey, did you see something I saw 2 or 3 weeks ago? Could you pop that on the show?"
I was not demanding it. I thought maybe because it's our own thing that we may have it. Just hit a button. I don't know. He's the technical guy. I'm not the technical guy. I thought since he downloaded, I thought he might just have it a click. It may be a click away.
Oh,
Nesto's in the super chat.
Time.
I was born 96. I ain't seen none of the glory day. I'm dying to see this documentary. Dan's in the super chat. Jesse, were you treated differently by your teammates for the unique way you came into the league? That's a good question. We might need to hold it, though.
Yeah, well, that's a whole segment.
Fourth segment.
That's a whole segment.
Fourth segment. Because I could see that, too.
That's a whole segment.
Reality TV guys here.
Yeah, because the media didn't treat you different.
What? Mr. Fourth and Gone.
I mean, y'all need to stop it. Yeah, it's time for your segment, man. It's time for your segment.
All right, man. Pull up a chair. Clash is in session. We are headed back to the board, back to the film.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Oh, hit the like button.
We're not at 100 yet. Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. I think you're going to like this one. We're headed back to the board. School is now in session. We're breaking down the receivers that the Cowboys will face this year. And the next guy that I picked in this one is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh.
There's nothing about Amon-Ra that is super imposing. Not a very big guy, not a very fast guy.
Not necessarily a burner.
Not a burner.
But a dog.
He is a football playing Jesse. Like he is a dog. He is a junkyard dog. If there is a receiver that matches the energy of their head coach, Amon-Ra matches the energy of Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell matches the energy of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And when you look at what they did offensively, you saw the graphic that they ran a lot of in-breaking routes in this offense that was under Ben Johnson, who's now
Go Heels.
Go Heels.
Go Heels.
You know what I'm saying? Who is now the head coach at the Chicago Bears. But I want to take a look at this clip right here of Amon-Ra St. Brown and just break this thing down just a little bit. Right now, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown at the top. Now, when you look at this formation, you're going to see a couple things going on. Remember last week we told you when you break the huddle, guys are looking at what's the coverage, what's this right here. I'm going to call this 3 cloud or 3 sky, right? When you talk about cover 3, is guys having the third of the zone, but 3 sky gives you a little bit different look because you're going to have that safety kind of, if necessary, working the flat. So this is one of those 3 cloud looks from the defensive side of the ball. You break the huddle. Jared Goff comes to the huddle. Amon-Ra is at the top of this right here. And I can tell you that they're going silent count. How do you know they're going silent count, Jesse? Well, look at the guard. Okay, look at the guard right here. You see him stick their hand out like that?
And he ain't looking at the ball or nothing.
He ain't looking at the ball or nothing. He's looked back at Jared Goff. Jared Goff gives him the eye. I'm ready to go. And this is his signal to the center. Now, once he gives that signal to the center, and lets the center know that, hey, Jared Goff's ready to go. And now we are moving when you decide to snap the ball. So you see that little hand down there that he's giving? He's letting the center know that Jared Goff's ready to receive the pass. What's very unique about Detroit's offense, and a lot of teams do it, but Detroit does it a lot. They run a lot of their sets from a condensed split. Bunt sets, condensed splits. You ask me, what is condensed splits? You see guys and receivers lined up outside the numbers, at the numbers, spread out. Detroit runs a very tight condensed formation. Now, how does that help them offensively? When you run a condensed formation in sets, sometimes even with the bunch, guys can't press that. They give you a little bit of off coverage, so now you have what we call a free release. Guys aren't at the line of scrimmage, bumping and jamming you, throwing the timing off the route that you're doing. So I start in the condensed form, and now you don't know whether I want to run an in-breaking route or an out-breaking route from that condensed form. So you got to kind of play it off a little bit. You see a lot of teams that get caught off in those picks when guys are in these condensed forms and they're in these tight splits. So Detroit's run this right here in a condensed formation. What you're going to notice is up top with Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's going to run a dig route. What's important about this is in the 3 sky zone coverages, that DB is playing slightly outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. But because Amon-Ra is in a condensed form, what he has to maintain and keep is a little bit of outside threat, because I want to keep the line so I'm not getting pushed down in my route. So you see when Amon-Ra comes off the ball, that outside foot, he takes it and I'm pointing it outside to get that DB just to honor outside just a little bit to open up that lane. We call it open up the gate, right? That DB opens up that inside hip, and now Amon-Ra has that free release up the middle of the field. What's important about this for Amon-Ra St. Brown is I got to maintain my verticality, right? Sometimes guys get a little bit rushed, they get a little bit hurried, and what happens is if I don't get the full depth of this route and I go too early or too soon, my window closes. And when your window closes, the throw is either incomplete or the quarterback goes to another route. So Amon-Ra has created the window or created the gate to open up, and he's keeping this thing vertical up the field, pressing the guys up the field, keeping that DB on the outside hip, as you can see right here, because he's going to want that linebacker, go back, he wants that linebacker. He knows, hey, here's what's coming underneath. I have a shallow cross coming underneath. I want that linebacker to see that shallow cross. I'll have a running back coming underneath that shallow cross as well. We'll create a mesh, but I need that linebacker to eat up on that shallow cross. But he has to keep it vertical. He has to keep that straight line, because these are how your windows are opening up for this particular pass play. As you can see, Amon-Ra continues his verticality. And I told you this was three.
There's a lot of being worried about 11 on a 4-yard route. Y'all need to chill out and back up.
Here's the thing. When you're running that 3 cloud, someone has to play the flat. The linebacker has to hook the curl. Right. Normally, the DB would play that. But because he's playing three sky, he's carrying the vertical route up the field, and that safety is getting to where that flat is going. If you look at that DB at the bottom, right, you see him pointing. He's passing that through. He's saying, in to alert those other guys that we have an in-breaking route, and he's going to pick up that running back coming back across the field. But you see what's developing? That linebacker is cheating up on that in call for that shallow cross coming. The hole behind him for that dig route is opening up for Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if you watch Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's still maintaining that outside leverage.
In that frame, he's still threatening
that outside leverage with the thought of verticality, so that he keeps that DB on his outside hip. As you continue to go through this clip, you see, go back one thing. I also want to point this out. Sometimes you talk about, receivers, you're not getting the ball, but you running your route full speed matters. Right. Jameis Williamson at the bottom. What you know about Jameis Williamson is speed.
Go to talk about defense,
that safety, while he's in the middle of the field, he feels that. He understands that I have to be able to help that backside corner as well. So you see that speed that Jameson is keeping. His verticality, it keeps that safety in the middle of the field just a hint longer. So sometimes young receivers, you have to understand, even though the ball isn't coming to you, you are still a very, very vital part of this route being open.
Love of the game route.
It's a love of the game route. It's a conditioning route right here. But the thing is,
if that safety really wants to cover Amon-Ra, you'll get it.
But if you hit 2 or 3 of these in a game, that safety goes, they ain't throwing that go route. We going, I'm gonna jump this dig. And they go, whoop, over your head. Jameis Williamson for a 70-yard touchdown. But, all right, next clip. You see the ball is out right now. I love this because Amon-Ra is breaking and the ball is already out. Ball's gone. Jared Goff already sees that everything is playing out the way it's supposed to play out. The ball is on the way. He has the vision for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra has kept the defender on his outside hip. Now, what's important, young receivers, or all receivers, watch Amon-Ra's next step. He's going to come down back to the ball, not floating upfield, but back to the ball. And I love this because the dig route should be called 2 yards before the hash. You see Amon-Ra come back to the ball. He catches that thing 2 yards inside the hash. I'm going to show it to you from the back. Look at that. That's almost perfect. It is almost perfect. 2 yards before the hash. Now, what I also want you to see is this. In every route concept, you're going to have a triangle. This is called the triangle of success. When you start talking about what is my reads, first, second, third, and when you have conceptual routes run, I don't care where you run them out on the field. it should end with some sort of triangle. It may not always be the perfect triangle, but there should be a triangle shape in between 3 of the pass catchers or receivers in that concept. As you see here, you have the triangle of success. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. They ran their routes fully. They ran their routes at the right depth and at the right pace. And that's why you have this gaping window for Jared Goff to throw this perfect 2 yards from the hash dig route to Amon-Ra St. Brown, kept the defender on his backside for completion. And that's why you have the success that you had in the Detroit Lions offense last year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's another one of these guys that we have to worry about as the Cowboys are taking on the Detroit Lions this season. Amon-Ra, not big, not fast, not super imposing, just a straight up junkyard dog who gets it done. We'll see what this offense is this year without Ben Johnson, but I'm sure that the offensive coordinator will continue to do some of these same concepts, condensed splits, running in-breaking routes, having guys do what they're supposed to do. Make sure you hit the like button so we can keep doing this.
And if Dan Quinn is not Dan Quinn, but what's the head coach?
Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell, excuse me. If he's smart, he's going to do what the Eagles did when they let their offense coordinator go. When he went and got a job, they got a new offense coordinator. They said, Kellen Moore, run when he ran.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do exactly what we already did. Study that.
Yeah. Run that Jalen Hurts offense. Run this offense. Run this Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown offense. That dude is tough. He makes tough catches.
Yep.
He's a dog.
I agree.
Kind of little stout people who can move good. That's tough because you got nowhere to get your.
Yeah,
it's tough.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming up next, we're going to answer that super chat about how Jesse was treated as a Cowboy. Plus, the most important thing that'll predict the Cowboys' success. Are you buying it? It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. This is also our final week of the Make Your Move intro offer, which is big time. We're talking about more than 50% off how much it normally is to become a diehard on alldlls.com. It's big time. It's big time. It's big time. If you're an NBA person, we just had our whole NBA draft, scouting reports, all those different things.
Capture the flag.
When it was NFL time, we had the access to all of Fran Duffy's NFL stuff. You always have an ad-free experience on the website when you are a diehard. You will get a free T-shirt out of our merch store when you sign up.
For about that price?
About that price is what a T-shirt is. And so you get that, and bang, for 1 year, you get all of the benefits of a diehard, which includes being in our Discord lounge, which was popping off last night. It was popping off. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Sign up to be a diehard. You can see what goes on in there.
That's a good tease.
You know
that's a good tease.
You know
that's a good tease.
It's like Ray Boom Boom Room.
Yeah.
I'm glad you joined the Discord.
Huh?
I'm glad you joined the Discord.
I'm in there all the time. I haven't seen you, though. I don't see you.
Football season.
You creeping around the outside. Just keep the
hey, listen,
on the periphery.
What they say, a long time looker, watcher, a looker.
Look, Joe was in there a lot.
Yes.
And since he passed, I felt like I needed.
And listen, he took a shot today. He took a shot yesterday.
Did he take a shot?
He took a shot yesterday.
At you?
No, I'm talking about he was what?
Feels like home. Something like that?
Yeah, because somebody went back to the old Micah. I'm like Micah. I went back to my old spot.
Oh. I don't think that's a shot. I think that's just an observation.
I'm taking it as a shot.
Okay. All right.
I'm like Micah. I'm going back to my own place.
I can't wait we're gonna be at training camp and somebody's gonna Joe's gonna be getting an interview and Clarence gonna walk by and grab that player, but don't talk to him. Yeah. Don't talk to him.
You're dead to us now, buddy.
Anyway, sign up to be a diehard. It gets you hooked up. You get discounts on events and merch as well. Get to alldlls.com and take care of it while you got this offer this week. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Kerry Matthews, Freak Jesus in the super chat. Love the inside view and analysis of play. It's like watching the Rangers with Mike B. Makes the game that much more interesting. And I'm talking about breaking it down, breaking it down.
Trying, man.
You're Mike Bassett.
I'm not.
I think you guys are very similar.
No.
You're like Mike Bassett.
No. I worked with Mike.
Keep your
job.
Not
similar.
Keep your job.
I think that's.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing that can get you lose your job.
That's old. Don't bring that up.
Why you gotta bring up old stuff?
Don't bring that up.
I do think that the way that you left that one station, I could have seen it playing out the exact same with him, except I think he would actually.
Yeah. He might have. Mike's a loose cannon. Mike's a loose cannon.
I love Mike so much.
I know I love Mike. So I used to antagonize Mike when we worked together doing the post-game show.
Yeah.
And Mike used to get, because Mike's
he'll lose it.
Mike's a fan.
Oh, he's a He's a diehard.
And I thought it was the funniest thing ever how upset he was.
Diehard.
And it came into the post-game show. Yeah. So like from the elevator to the field level, I'm antagonizing.
No.
And like Gavin's like, he's giving me one of these.
Because he'll go on the post-game and be like, this team will never win another game, and I don't know why any of you watch.
He'll shut down. Like, he shut down.
Oh, he used to do that
he'll
to
be
me.
Like,
yeah,
you know what? I have nothing to say. And he'll be gone for 2 seconds.
Compliment sandwich, though. I love Mike.
We do love Mike.
Mike Bassix.
Mike,
GOAT.
Mikey B, we love you.
One of the super chats that we got was from Dan Myers. He said, Jesse, were you treated differently by your teammates for the unique way you came into the league? Which, if you are not aware how Jesse Holley came into the league.
The second time.
He paid Jerry.
He paid Jerry. Mike Lurvin had a reality TV show called 4th and Long, and whoever won that, Jerry Jones had agreed, whoever wins this show gets an invite to training camp.
Yes.
Correct.
An invite to training camp does not put you on the football team when training camp is over.
No.
And I will tell you, as somebody who watched that show and worked on it briefly,
spotter,
I would have assumed, yay, that was fun. You get to training camp, and when they make the first cuts, obviously the guy who made it from the reality show will be part of the first cuts.
Yeah, and real talk, they got their click, so to speak, okay? They got their pound of flesh, okay? Jerry likes attention, okay? That's not the traditional way you go to camp, but they made it to a show, so you got your attention, okay? You didn't have to put him on the team, okay?
I thought that DB should have won the show, though.
Okay, see, don't do that.
Is that Hawk?
I
thought he was nice.
He's a receiver.
Yeah,
Hawk was a receiver.
Okay, but
who was the DB?
It don't matter the receiver.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
You're both right.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
You're both right.
Supposed friend.
Hawk was nice though.
Supposed friend.
Hawk was nice
but and that's the beautiful thing. Hawk had a long career too.
He did. Got paid.
You know,
and Hawk's a good friend of mine. I love Hawk.
So that just shows you how people can have misses. Yeah. You can miss on guys all the time. There are a lot of guys on the street who probably can play and do some things like that. Hawk, they had good careers. They were good players, and they were overlooked for whatever reason. You come out of college, you play, you don't really get the opportunity. You don't want to go to Canada, and just because you go to Canada don't mean you're going to get a chance to get an opportunity. And again, they got their attention. They got their click. They got their, Jerry Wild about attention. They got there with the show. They didn't have to put him on the team. No. He earned his way on the team by what he did in camp.
I wish you would have been that nice and said that thing to me back then.
Yeah, because I bet back then you had jokes.
I mean, I won't get that.
The TV dude. Oh, the TV guy.
We're not going to, listen, we're going to get these jokes out.
Who interviewing? Oh, he ain't going to be here in 2 weeks. I'm not interviewing him.
You're not interviewing the Bachelor guy?
He called you the Bachelor, man.
He's talking about a reality TV show.
Reality TV.
I know you messed the name up.
You getting Survivor going?
Yeah,
okay.
We're going to get these jokes out. But no, I mean, I respect him. I mean, I know the process.
Yeah.
And I understand the process. And I've always understood the process because, again, it's not
about.
Ain't
stop for them jokes flying, huh?
No, we got to let these jokes go. We got to let
But to answer to Dan's question, yes, there was people that were there that was like, I'm just a reality TV dude. Now,
it's like you better be the hardest worker. Because if you're not, they would be like,
but I was.
Right.
And that was the thing. Like, I didn't come
So when he hit them plays in his pocket.
I was trying to learn. The thing I love about the league is, and I tell young people this all the time, you want dudes to respect you, go ball. Like, you want dudes to look at you like you belong, go practice hard. Like, because that's what guys respect.
Right.
They don't because you hear all the time, when you get to the NFL, I don't care if you came from Alabama, I don't care if you came from North Dakota, I don't care if you came from wherever. Can you help us? Are you a dude? And if that's the case, then you fit in. Now, initially, of course, when you come in there, people are looking at you sideways. And believe it or not, and this goes to just his character, one of the first people that talked to me at training camp at dinner was DeMarcus Ware. I was sitting by myself because I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And, I didn't want to try to intrude on anybody else. I was sitting by myself at a table, and DeMarcus Ware walked over with his food and sat down at the table. And he said, "What's up, dog? What's going on?" I was like, "What's going on, man?" He's like, "Oh, you the guy from the show." I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Man, that was a cool show. I watched the show." And this is what DeMarcus Ware said to me. He said, "Listen, bro, you're here. You're a part of this team. Act like it. You don't got to sit over here by yourself. Like, sit with everybody else. Like, you're here with us now. Like, this is you're a part of this."
Well, that's awesome.
I don't know how this is going to work out for you, but as of now, you are a part of this. Yeah. And that was when I was like, you know what? That was pretty
They
cool.
find them damn receivers. Go sit with them receivers.
It was pretty cool, to have the dude sit down across from you and tell you, bro, you are however you got here. And he was like, I got here from Troy. Like I didn't come from no big school.
Yeah.
He goes, just go out there and ball. And every single day, I just went out there and I worked the very hardest I can. Till one day, DeMarcus tells me, he's like, we were working a special team drill and he had to be out there. So he's like, hey, man.
Well, out there standing there, I bet.
Yeah, but it was like one of those, he had to get the reps in. But I had the mindset of I never took a play off. I couldn't afford it. And so I would tell guys, the play you want me to take off, give me $5,000. Like every play you want me to take off, I need $5,000. Because that's the money I'm going to need when they decide to cut me.
Yeah.
I don't have the luxury to take a play off. So every special team play, and my mindset was, if I'm the backup, I'm the 90th man on the 90-man training camp roster, the guy that's in front of me, they believe he's better than I.
Yeah.
So the only way to prove that they are not is to dog them.
Right.
And Tashard Choice, Sam Hurd, Patrick Creighton, all these guys started seeing the way that I worked every single day. And it was like, oh, nah, he can rock with us. Because I gave a great look, whether it was scout team, whatever it was. I'm giving you the absolute best look. Mike Jenkins, all those guys, Alan Ball, all those guys begin to now respect me. Orlando never really respected me.
Can I call Mike Jenkins a bust?
Why? You don't
call
have
him
to.
what you want.
Why?
Orlando did what Mike Jenkins was supposed to do.
Yeah, Orlando took advantage of his opportunities.
But what did Mike do to you?
Nothing.
He was a first-round pick.
He was a first-round pick. So I want to say this.
Yes.
And what all you say was true. And think about DeMarcus Ware.
Compliment sandwich.
It's about to be a
No, it's not a compliment sandwich. I'm saying he was magnanimous. He was magnanimous. When he said, hey, man, I just came from Troy. I'm like, I came from nowhere. Dude, you was a first-round pick. He didn't just come from Troy.
No. Like top 14 pick or 13.
That's an example of being magnanimous.
No,
he related.
His thing was,
I know, I got you.
I didn't come from Alabama.
I know,
I didn't come from.
I know, but it was
Well, he
first-round
did.
pick.
That is in Alabama.
It is. Well, you're absolutely right.
My point is he was a first-round pick. So whether he came from Troy or not, he was a first-round pick. What's also true is, and I say this to people in my fraternity all the time, because we have a caste system, and so sometimes if how you came in, okay? And, if you came in a certain way, people will look at you different.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's some people you can't win over. And I'm sure you won over. There's some people always going to look at you as that guy. You can't win them over, no matter how hard you work, because they're going to look down because whatever. All you can do is control what you do.
Yep.
And if you work hard and you do what you're going to do, people going to respect that. And that's what happened.
No, and that's literally how I went from being a guy who should have people thought I was going to get cut after the first week to spending 3 seasons here. Yeah. And literally, when they got to this is coming from coaches. This is coming from Wade. This is coming from Ray Sherman. When they got to the first, because back then you had to cut like every week, every other week or something like that. When they got to the first cut, watching me just work at practice and being on the scout team and all that kind of stuff, Jason Garrett was like, "All right, let's get him out of here." And then Wade was like, "Wait a second. This kid's."
We know he's not going to make it either, but can we at least let him keep working these dudes for another week?
No, and that's really what it was. Like, this guy gives us good looks. Joe Camillus, man, he gives us great looks. Give this guy another week. And then it went from, okay, I got another week. And then it was,
what about another week?
Let's see what he does in the preseason game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just tell you, even Jason Garrett, the head coach, who came from nowhere.
Well, he was the OC at the time.
I know, but he was big. He was big boy. He was big time in you.
Right. He had somebody else that he wanted. They had to cut and get me on the team.
Right.
So
he
wanted his guy back.
Yeah, of course.
And Wade was like, no, wait a second. Now, hold on. This guy has nice size. He has nice ability. And all they did kept giving me another week.
Yeah.
Kept giving me another week. And then it was like, back then, that's why I always went 4 preseason games. The last preseason game was when I had the touchdown in Minnesota on the punt return.
Right.
And it was like,
guys, I don't think we can cut him.
It was like, guys, this guy would be a perfect candidate to come and join our practice squad. And I went from being homeless, working as a security guard, to making 6 figures.
And then Jason Garrett just bided his time until he was the head coach.
Then the next year was the lockout year, right? So it was like the first year, the next year was the lockout year. So you couldn't really do anything in the offseason.
You get paid during the lockout?
No. But the lockout. So when the lockout unlocked,
right,
you had a short amount of time, so you had to keep the guys that you had. So it's like we can't do nothing with them. Come on, you with us? And by that time, I had won everybody over, and then I got to this next year, I was good.
I wish we had.
Then after that, after that season, he was like, yeah, time's up, buddy.
Finally.
I wish.
Finally.
I've been waiting.
I wish you had more time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it is the people understand is they have ideas. They say all that stuff, but Jason had who he wanted on the team in his mind. Okay?
100%.
And you had to, with the help of other coaches who recognized it, convince them. Because it don't happen that way from other guys.
No.
Because they have
Jody Camillus, Ray Sherman, a bunch of guys were Skip Pete.
Right.
A bunch of guys were advocates for me.
Right. So, yeah.
It's an awesome story, and you're a badass. Clarence, you're okay, too. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
He got it out the dirt. He got it out the dirt. I don't do young
contingency.
Women. I don't do young women.
We all silly like the mayor.